Welcome to vumanibo.com. I think this is the number one spiritual platform. I mean, it's debatable. Today we have Gugu Mkhize. How are you doing, Gugu Mkhize, aka, or let me not say aka, that's so disrespectful. Her spiritual name is Gogo Odirile. How are you doing today?
I'm good, thanks. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm just happy to be chatting to you today about you, about your journey. So yeah, just introduce yourself, tell us who you are, what you do, and what you're about.
Okay. I'm Gugu Mkhize, also known as Gogo Odirile. I'm a traditional healer, as well as a herbalist. I'd like to believe I'm a modern healer. So a lot of things I do in consideration with the times we're living in now. And I am a recent shop owner of a lovely herbal store. So now I have herbal products that I have a brick and mortar store where I'm selling my products. So yeah, that's who I am, Gugu, as well as Gogo Odirile.
Man, you're obviously very young. Looking at you now, I know it's ignorant to say, but you don't look like a go-go. You look like a slay queen. So tell me, briefly, you don't get too much into details, but just tell us about your journey of,
Mhm.
your transition into being a traditional healer.
Okay, so mine is here I am living my best life with my partner. And then we try for a baby, and then we get a miscarriage. And then somebody says, you guys know you need to get a cleansing. And we're like, what are you talking about? What's that? And then we get more information, and eventually we find a healer. We go to the healer thinking we're going to get information on this cleansing thing, and not the healer saying, uh-uh, I'm thinking, we didn't come here for that. And then, so then we left, and then my partner was like, don't you want to consult at different places, Nyana, and see what's happening? So this is August of 2020. I say, no, I did again. And then, when was it? October, I start having dreams. Now, dreams are very, ancestral. Like I'm seeing, I'm a bayi and things, and I'm thinking, there's no ways because there is no healer in my family. So there's just no ways. Maybe I have this thing in my mind. Then time goes, and then I get invited to church. And I go to this church, and this Badimo story comes up again. And
Mm.
I'm like, hey, you know what? No, give me a break. And then when I go to this church, bump off it, I get prophesied, you need to get this, that. So it's this long list. And at the time, I'm so broke. Like COVID is within. And then I say to the lady, oh, I can't get these things because I don't have money. But I knew I didn't want to get the things anyway. The next morning is now Monday. I wake up, and now suddenly somebody has sent me the money. Now I have money to buy those things. And I go and I buy those things. And I'm thinking, something says that money is for those things. And I go and I get those things. Weeks later, I start dreaming of that lady that prophesied me at church. I start dreaming I'm at her place. I'm cleaning, I'm getting to know her. I just live there. And then, the dreams kept coming, kept coming. And then something one day said, that's where you're supposed to go and train. Mind you, this is an hour, 30 minutes away from where I live. And I said, let me enjoy December. It's now level 1. And January, I just wake up one morning and I say, yeah, again, I got it 24. And my mom's like, okay, guy. I'm like, no, that lady, that granny, I'm going to her. And then on the 24th, I go, and that's when I trained. After I trained, I came back home. I thought, no, I was just going to Twasa because somebody didn't do it in my family. So I'm never going to work. I'm too modern for all of those things. A week after I come back, people start coming to consult and consult. And then I just realized that, what, actually, this was a setup. I was actually
Mm.
supposed to work. So, and I've been working ever since.
Wow, that's
So
amazing.
that's like I've tried to cut it short for you to understand what happened.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And obviously you being an entrepreneur, it's in your nature. And now I assume that's now where this thing started, or I know you could quickly realize that there's a gap in the market, and that's how you started your herbal store. Tell us about that journey.
So while I was I would always tell the other ladies that I was with, when I leave here, I'm making soaps. When I leave here, I'm making soaps. And they're all looking at me like, who does that? At the time, I don't even know how to make soaps, but I knew when I leave here, I'm making soaps. So then I come back home and then I start consulting. So I'm not trying to, it's different consulting with your gobela there and now you being alone. So I had to first get comfortable with that. Once I got comfortable with that, then I started with soaps. That's initially how I started. Then I realized that, soaps aren't enough. And people come with similar problems. So I then figured out which problems I'm going to be dealing with. Then I thought, let me add a shower. I started by adding a shower gel. Then it was a lotion. And then every now and then it was a, hey, why don't you add this? Hey, why don't you add that? And then eventually, last year, June, I was like, I keep a shop. And I'm thinking, shop, and I'm hearing my ancestors saying, yes, shop, you can do it. So then I worked, and I was putting money away, and I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to have this shop. At the same time, I'm worried, people aren't so, open about going to get muti. How am I going to do this and have people come to the shop and open it and come and buy, sorry. And then I thought, let me just do it. I didn't think people were going to buy the soaps, and they did. So let's do this. And then the whole of December, I decided what I wanted the shop to look like. And then I got the carpenter to help me with that. And then now the carpenter says, I'm done. The store is ready. Now I start shaking like, yo, are we actually doing this? And then I just thought to myself, you know what? I've been trusted to do this. I've done it for a while. Now this is the next step. I'm doing this. And that's when Gogo Odirile's herbal shop then came to life. Just like that.
Amazing stuff. You mentioned earlier now that people have similar problems. What is the one thing that people come to you for? Like, what is the one thing in your experience that people are really struggling with?
People are really struggling with spiritual attacks, like Iskrito. People are throwing this stuff around like, bona. It's going out of fashion. People are constantly getting attacked. They're having weird dreams. They're having they're getting blockages. So a lot of the time it's blockages. They first come to sort out this blockage in their life. So it's most of the time Iskrito. So they come for that, they get stuff for that. And I kid you not, after they get stuff for that, they're trying to attract all the stuff that they lost out on when they were having this blockage. So they get stuff for attraction, they get stuff for love, they get stuff for business and for work and all of that. But they always usually start with sort of cleaning out the mess, which is Istrito. And then afterwards, it's definitely love, it's attracting money, it's attracting good vibes. So that's what they usually come for.
What's up with Istrito? I mean, I know what it is. It's like people borrow lawyer basically blocking you. Well, like why would someone invest? Why do you think someone invests so much of their time? Because I'm thinking, if now I'm gonna go put Istrito on someone, that's like, why not just use that time and energy and money so that I can make my life better? I never understood that. Do you know why? Maybe.
I think in the very little time that I have been doing this, I think Hona as Black folk, the reason why I see a lot of it happening is we have the sense of entitlement. So when you have a sense of entitlement, when you expect things to happen for you, you're expecting people to do things for you, I get it, because you are entitled. And then you see other people's lives moving and you not being brought, here is work, here is this, here is that. So entitlement breeds jealousy. When you see other people actually doing things and achieving, you then become jealous. And when you're jealous, automatically obatla ho liar. So you want to say, okay, how dare Gogo Odirile have a shop? Ke batla mo laya, ke bona hore di-customers tse o nana hore o ilo di thola kae. And then the person will start throwing things at you and whatnot because unani mona, but mona all comes from being entitled. When you're entitled, you never want to put in the work. And it bothers you when you see somebody putting in the work and getting the rewards. Dare you get rewards for work you've put in? I think that's where the issue comes from for us as Black folk. We're very entitled.
Yes, man. Hopefully this thing, I don't know how we're gonna fight it. But yeah.
I hope so too.
Yeah, someone said to me, I know Bolo is culture, man. It's our culture.
Yes, and we like, for you to be entitled, you need to be raised in a certain way for you to feel entitled. So I wonder how it becomes like a generational thing. If you are like that, you raise your kids like that, you get your kids involved in things that they know nothing about, or they become jealous children. You know what I mean? And then it becomes a cycle. Then Mang inherits fear mama high.
Yeah. Okay, I know, cool, man. Lastly, obviously, it's been interesting couple of years for you, to say the least. Looking at you as a healer, looking at you having a practice and a business, what's next for Gogo Odirile?
What's next for me is I think one of my purposes in life, because you kind of have like multiple purposes. I think in this life I need to, or my mandate is to help spread the word and to help educate people that are gifted and those that are not gifted, because not everybody becomes Kobela in that way. There are some of us that are supposed to teach people in general. So I want to be traveling more, teaching people about spirituality, whether you're gifted or you're not gifted, so people know the basics so that we can teach our children going forward. Because I know our generation now, we don't know a lot of things. So I feel like my purpose is to help people now learn that, and then going forward, they can teach their kids. So I'm trying to do a lot more conferences, travel around, teaching people about spirituality, as well as consulting and helping people realize what's happening in their lives. But more consulting, not consulting, more conferences rather this year, moving around, spreading the word.
Okay. Yeah, no, man. Good luck with all of that. Sounds amazing.
Thank you.
Lastly, social media handles, where can people get a hold of you? And because I know a lot of people watching this, they're gonna want to consult and send you DMs and all this stuff. So how do people get hold?
Yes. So Gogo Odirile is on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and what's the other one? I always forget the
Twitter.
one.
Twitter.
Yes. Thank you. Yes. It's at Gogo _Odirile. Odirile, ODIRILE. Gogo _Odirile. If you want to get .co.za. If you want to come to the store, I'd love to meet everybody. The store is at Coast Space Entrepreneur Village, the one in Midrand, and our unit is unit H1. So H for
Hyundai.
H for Hottie. It's Hyundai Hottie. H for Hottie 1. Yes, so H1. And then all my contact details, if you want to WhatsApp, if you want to book an appointment, are on all those social platforms.
All right, cool. Thank you so much. Yo, if you're watching this video and this is the first time on the platform, don't forget to share and subscribe. This is vumanibot.com, the #1 spirituality platform in Africa.